MSNBC takes you behind the walls of America's most notorious prisons into a world of chaos and danger. Now, the scenes you've never seen. Lockup Raw.
It's a grinding wheel. Everything here is a rut. It's a circle. It's a death trap. Inside, it'll wear you down.
They're the inmates who may never know freedom again.
I got some criminal tendencies.
There have been times that I got into a fight over certain things.
They're the inmates with nothing left to lose.
I've seen a lot of guys snap. Any given day they can snap.
We're having feces or urine thrown on you, spit, blood, semen, anything you can think of has happened in here.
It's like a tomb, a concrete tomb.
They're the inmates who serve hard time.
These are not the good guys.
What's my role here? I'm an ass.
It's fun to break the law and dance with the devil, but see, when you gotta pay the fiddler, it ain't nothing nice.
In prison, the term hard time can mean many different things. It could be an inmate who will never see freedom again, or an inmate who's doing solitary confinement for years at a time. Our crews have seen numerous examples of what it's like to do hard time, but there's one story in particular that seems like it came straight out of a movie.
Every weekday morning, just after sunrise, a group of inmates at the Elaine Hunt Correctional Center in Louisiana prepares for a grueling day of farming the fields adjacent to the prison.
We have 63 acres of vegetable gardens that we grow vegetables on, anything from squash, tomatoes, mustard greens, collard greens.
Supervised by armed officers on horseback and earning 2 cents an hour for their labor, the inmates harvest more than 1 million pounds of crops per year, all of it used at the prison. But this particular work detail forces staff to be especially vigilant.
Knowing that they have tools that they could easily use as weapons, and they've done it before, it makes you watch your back, keeps you on your toes. Because you never know what could happen. You could take one of the best guys, and he decides that he doesn't like you and he wants to take you out.
See, when you get it like this in here, like that razor blade there, I learned that lick sharpening them knives on the floor in them cells, Angola.
Joel Baker has 3 life sentences and a nickname. It's White Trash.
The judge gave me my name. It's kind of ironic. Upon sentencing, they had me charged with 3 murders, drug deal gone bad in hotel room, shootout. They shot me, I shot them. But the judge says in her final summation after the jury delivers a verdict, "You are nothing, Mr. Baker, but a pebble in the pond. You're nothing but poor white trash." All my life, I was a bad boy. I look back and I see all the stupid mistakes that I made. And I see the young people that's here at this prison. And I hear all the stories because I listen and I think to myself, you do not know how fortunate you are. You're going out there with another chance, whether it's 5 years, 10 years, or what. You're getting another chance. I'll never get that chance. I would give my leg, my arm, for that chance. I'm never gonna get it. I'm gonna die right here.
Clean the front of your room. I want all that grass out the front.
It's fun to break the law and dance with the devil, but see, when you gotta pay the fiddler, it ain't nothing nice. Trust me, I'm living it. I'm living it.
When it comes to serving hard time, White Trash Baker is hardly alone.
Me and myself, I got 35 to life. I'm here on a 3 strikes case. In the mid-'80s, I had a burglary and an attempted burglary. I did 4 years for. Those are strike 1 and strike 2. In 1996, I caught a drug charge, a methamphetamine charge, and I fell under California's 3 strikes and you're outlaw. And I ended up getting a sentence of 35 years to life.
Aaron Yost was 11 years into his latest sentence when we met him at Kern Valley State Prison in California. He says his problems stem from a near lifelong abuse of drugs.
I grew up with drugs. My parents were quote-unquote hippies. You know, both my parents dropped acid. You know, my mom's dead now from a drug overdose. But when I was 9 years old, I was rolling joints for mom and dad.
Yost's life is now largely confined to this cell, which he shares with another inmate.
No, I'm not comfortable like this. I don't like men. I like women. You know? And this is to me, it's disgusting. You know, I'm still irritated. If I wake up in the morning, I'm agitated because I have to live with another man.
Now, the closest Yost comes to female companionship is through his tattoos, some of which are too graphic to show on television.
That's all I dream about. That's all I got. You know?
I remember when we met Aaron, the man was absolutely tattooed, just incredibly inked. If one word describes him, it's intense, just full of energy. And I remember when my producer asked him, what's the daily routine? Boy, he just started right in on telling us what it was all about.
One person has to get down, up to the bunk down. You know, you come over here, you do your business. You wipe the sink out after you're done. There's little rules that people live with each other. This has to be pristine. This has to be clean. The inside, like, see how I'm playing in the toilet right here? But this is clean. See, I can wash my face in it because we keep everything that clean. You know, I mean, we don't live like pigs. We're not animals. You know what I mean? Everything's spotless. That's why everything's so shiny. And there's etiquette. You don't do this. You know what I mean? Say I have to pass gas, right? I'm not gonna just, you know, fart in the cell. I'll sit on the and hit the button. That way it goes down. You're so contained, every little smell is offensive. It's hell. It's constant pressure every day. You know, it's like an animal in a cage. You know, you get poked, you get prodded, not just by staff, but by everybody. Everything's a challenge. This is a place where evil lives. You know.
Though he seemed eager to express himself, Yost later told our producer that giving this interview put him at risk with other inmates.
Because there's repercussions, because I'm talking, because I'm giving an interview.
Are there repercussions?
Because I could be considered a rat. You follow what I'm saying? For giving up information, for giving up game, for explaining how it is in here. You know what I mean? But
we saw what Aaron meant by that, because we took him out to a more common area of the prison, and one of his neighbors began questioning him about what he was talking about, and I just kept rolling.
So, what it's like in the cell, you know what I mean? What it's like to live in here, you know what I mean? Some of the laws, you know, basically the COs, this is new prison, how it's a smash, you know what I mean? How they act like level one.
The emotional aspect of it.
Oh man, too much. I probably spend like half an hour in there, you know what I mean? The agony of what it is in here, the torture, the poke, the prod, the constant, you know what I mean, frustration that you can never, you feel like you can't release. How do people release their frustration? They drive. You build your body, you build your muscles, you sling ink, you tattoo, you do all that stuff.
Hey,
yeah.
If you kept it like that the whole time, I'll support you.
Prison is predatory. Prison is evil. Everyone in here runs on base emotions. It's a very few people who think with a higher intellect about how to do stuff or about how to be. What?
Yourself included? Is that how you operate? How do you operate in here?
Well, there's people that would tell you how I operate in here. I'm sure there's lots of people that would tell you that they don't approve of how I operate.
Those people include the correctional staff, who not only believe Yost is a dangerous inmate, but that he's the leader of a white supremacist gang.
This guy here, Yost?
Yeah.
If you see him out there, around the yard, watch for him. Watch out for that dude. Watch his movement. We found information, we received a kite, saying that if Yost gets 3 feet next to this guy, he's gonna hit him. He's gonna hit him.
What's my role here? I'm an ass. In their mind, I'm a. You know, I'm constantly agitating them, and they're constantly agitating me, and I won't quit.
Ultimately, Yost may not have a choice.
Time's ticking. I'm sick from hepatitis C virus, from shooting dope for 20 years. The treatment that I've been on for a year and a half isn't working. My liver's stage 2. I'm tired, you know. I can't get no expression out. All my family's died, one by one.
What is your future?
Death. What's yours?
Nestled at the base of the Rocky Mountains, Colorado State Penitentiary was built to house the state's most violent and disruptive inmates. It gives new meaning to the words, hard time.
We decided that CSP could not be a place where inmates could get comfortable and make a life for themselves. We had to treat them differently.
Colorado State isn't just any maximum security prison. It's a supermax facility. Inmates here are considered a constant threat and are confined to single-person cells 23 hours a day.
I was just, astounded by just how sterile and stark and, what tough time it would be to serve in that particular prison. I think that would be the hardest time possible.
Many of the inmates we spoke to agreed. They say the isolation is too much.
I've been here a long time. I've seen a lot of guys, seen them snap. Any given day they can snap.
23 hours a day, you're locked down. You come out for 5 hours a week onto what is essentially just another cell. It's a day room with the pull-up bar. There's a little window where you get some fresh air, and that's it. And everywhere you go is handcuffed. Handcuffed, you go to the day off. Handcuffed, you go to the shower. You have no human contact with nobody at all.
But Roy Slagle has had more contact than most inmates here. It's just been all the wrong kind. At the time of our shoot, Slagle held a dubious record. He had had more cell extractions than any other inmate at the prison. Cell extractions occur when inmates violate rules and refuse orders to cuff up and vacate their cells. It's then up to a specially trained emergency response team to forcibly remove them. And in Slagle's case, the extractions are always intense.
Roy Slagle is a big, powerful guy, and he was very intimidating looking, and when you meet him, you understand why he would have been considered a formidable opponent in a cell extraction.
In and out of correctional facilities since the age of 14, Slagle was serving time for robbery and assault when we met him.
I got some criminal tendencies, okay? You know what I mean? I robbed, and I've assaulted a guy in here. It ain't like I've been here for nothing, I come here and I got quite a big trouble here, where I would have been out a long time ago.
Michael, this is Captain Cruz. I'm the shift commander on swing shift tonight. I need to have you uncover your window. Are you going to cooperate, or do you want us to come and get you out of your cell? Slagle? No response.
In one of his more memorable acts of defiance, Slagle served as a ringleader when he and 7 other inmates covered up their cell windows, a major infraction of prison security rules.
Come in and get you, is that what you want? No response? Jones, this is Captain Cruz.
Hey, Captain, I tried to talk to you earlier. You know the routine. I'm here with you before. Ain't nothing else to say.
Rishas, this is Captain Cruz. I'm shift commander tonight on swing shift. I'm going to ask you to uncover your window.
No.
Are you refusing?
Yeah.
Do you understand that I will send the team in and bring you out of your cell?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unable to convince Slagle and the other inmates to comply with orders to uncover their windows, Captain Cruz summons the emergency response team.
The first one's got to be Slagle because we've identified him as one of the leaders. These inmates have numerous cell extractions. He will fight us. He will try to get out of the cell.
Determined to make a stand, Slagle mounts a defense with the few meager items he has in his cell. He's jammed his door with a hardened papier-mâché-like mixture of wet newspapers and toothpaste. But with the extraction team on its way, the conflict is about to come to a head.
Inmate,
Slagle fights off the extraction team for a full minute before they take him to the floor and attempt to cuff him. It takes another 4 minutes of struggling before Slagle is finally subdued. He's placed on a gurney so that the team can move him into a holding cell. Following a strip search, a defeated Slagle will be left in the holding cell until authorities feel they can safely transfer him back to his own cell.
Good job, guys.
Everybody in prison ain't the scum of the earth. There are actually some real good people in here that do have some morals, that would never harm a child, never harm one of old folks. But it would be nice to be able to be in a situation where I could actually get some real rehabilitation. This place here it's just about control.
Slagle's defiant attitude seemed to change after the prison introduced the use of OC gas, also known as pepper spray, to their extraction procedure.
Please come to the door and cuff up. Do you understand that if you don't cuff up, we're going to administer OC? Yeah.
Slagle's first experience with the gas might have been a rude awakening. It was also one of the few times he submitted to an extraction without a prolonged struggle. After determining he is not going to be combative, officers allow Slagle to shower off the burning gas.
One of the really amazing things about these cell extractions is that sometimes afterwards, the inmate and the officer seem to have a camaraderie, almost like pro athletes standing around the locker room at the end of a really tough game. And that was the case with Slagle as he was recovering from his pepper spray.
Yeah. First time for that. Last time.
At the Brushy Mountain Correctional Complex in Tennessee, we met an inmate who knows something about serving hard time. Brian Lautenschlager is serving a 90-year sentence for armed robbery and attempted murder.
I've been in here so long, and sometimes it seems like I was born in here.
How long have you been here?
I've been in prison altogether 18 years. Come in when I was 18, got out when I was 24, come back when I was 25, now I'm 36, going on 37.
Along with working out, there's one other way Lautenschlager copes.
I was 18 years old when they sent me to prison, far away from my home in East Tennessee. Still see the tears my darling was crying as she whispered, I love you, said she'd wait for me. When I first come to prison, I had a girlfriend, and she said, telling me how, she's going to wait on me and all this, and things change, and I'm still in here, and she's gone. It's been 18 long years in this old cold prison. Sometimes I feel so all alone. I lost a girl that I loved to the arms of a stranger. The only home I know is surrounded by stone. It's a sense of freedom, it frees my mind. I'm not thinking about Brushy Mountain or prison, I'm lonesome and blue, that's all I can say. I'm lonesome and blue, That's all I can say. Snow-covered pines. It's been a while since I had written it. Every year I change the amount of years that I've been in prison.
Next on Lockup Raw, Hard Time.
It's like a tomb, a concrete tomb.
They're considered the worst of the worst.
Man, the sky has the residues of the sunlight, but it's fading away like butter on cornbread.
But these inmates have found an icon to relate to.
Man, that's almost something like Shakespeare himself would write.
In many of America's maximum security prisons, there are 3 letters that strike fear in the hearts of inmates. SHU, the SHU. It stands for Secured Housing Unit. Unlike a prison within a prison, these units house the worst of the worst.
Mostly assaults, intimidations, threatenings, whether it be on staff or on inmates that land them in here. So these are not the good guys.
When we visited the SHU at Indiana's Wabash Valley Correctional Facility, the staff made it clear, absolute control is the top priority.
Your quietest day in the SHU can be your worst day in the SHU in about 2 seconds. Some of the challenges that we face are the threat of being gunned down, as we say it in here, or having feces or urine thrown on you, spit, blood, semen, anything you can think of has happened in this building.
But for inmates in the SHU, the monotony breeds a horror of its own. They told us what it was like to spend 23 hours a day in a windowless concrete cell, sometimes for years at a time.
It's like you're always trying to find a way to come up for air, you know, to play suffocation, you know what I'm saying?
It's a tomb for me, you know. It's like a tomb. It's like a tomb, a concrete tomb.
What if they would have sent these punk-ass dudes against Banquo and he would have succeeded in killing them, right?
During our first day on the SHU, we walked into a heated exchange about murder.
Banquo's a killer. So what you saying at the killer? You saying 3 more killers to get a killer?
But it wasn't about prison violence.
Showed up saying that Macbeth sent him.
It was about Shakespeare.
It was really bizarre because the inmates are not allowed out of their cells. So they're having this lively conversation through the pie flaps in their doors, but other than that, it was like being in a college classroom listening to a literary debate.
Macbeth is a general, and you know, he got he got strategies. I think he might have been prepared for that. So when Banquo would have came, he'd have been like, Banquo, my God, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? You know?
He made sure to tell him murder.
Through a program called Shakespeare in the SHU, inmates here have a brief escape from the relentless boredom of being locked down. Indiana State University professor Laura Bates started the program.
I went door to door, cell to cell, and I had experiences like walking up in one cell and completely unannounced, mentioned Shakespeare, and the offender started quoting from Shakespeare. Had no idea that this was coming. And that's really how Shakespeare in the SHU was born.
And they're going against Banquo.
Still don't answer the question about the third murder.
I guess you can look at them as being
The program has inmates rewrite Shakespeare in a way that reflects their own experiences. During our shoot, the group was working on Macbeth, a play about ambition, assassination, and a warlord's lust for power.
I took Macbeth to the streets, and what he did, he went to the hood, to the housing projects. You know, guys that don't got nothing, and he used some nobodies. Nobody know.
Leon Benson, serving 60 years for murder, read one of his passages to the group.
You read my eyes like parables. I was pressed for time because of my special preparations for tonight's special feast.
I really like the metaphor that you use. You read my eyes like parables, right?
Right.
Man, that's almost something like Shakespeare himself would write. So I really like that.
I'm from the hood, you know. Not to separate the hood from anything else, because the hood commercial now, whatever, right? But Shakespeare was something, you know, I never thought that I would experience in my life. And, you know, since I came in contact with Shakespeare, I see a lot of those parallels that correlate with urban life.
Essentially, Macbeth and the rest of the characters committing either immoral, unethical, or criminal acts. Well, we would say criminal acts, right? Of course, that's what we're in here for, committing criminal acts. So it's made me more introspective.
Man, the sky has the residues of the sunlight, but it's fading away like butter on cornbread. The tires of our target's Hummer should be approaching in a moment.
Macbeth is getting rid of them. That's how he keep his hands clean. He gonna have the lower ranking ones do the job for him, so he don't have to.
Just days before our shoot, inmate Iris White had completed a 3.5-year shoe term and had been transferred to general population. He was allowed to return to the shoe to finish his work on the script. Now, he gets to join this group of general population inmates who will bring the script to life.
It was really funny because some of the inmates were playing witches in Macbeth, kind of dancing around these big old guys, big, you know, dangerous, scary-looking guys, going, woo-hoo!
An all-male cast is something that we need to get accustomed to. We're not used to it. The population here isn't used to seeing men playing women, and yet that's the way Shakespeare's plays were originally done.
You hags have overstepped your authority. It is I, Hecate, with an awesome sight. Bow down and acknowledge my might. Enhanced by magical words, I shall give the illusions of spirits with much nerve.
As the actors were performing, I looked over my shoulder and I noticed Iris was silently reciting every word of the play. So I just focused the camera on him, and I thought it was pretty cool that he was getting to see his own words come to life and enjoying it so much.
All he's known and believed, he shall bury it. I tell you, hags, that this is the scary.
This is the first time I see the dialogue. When he was speaking, I knew everything. I knew the words as he was saying it, right? It's crazy to hear it, to see the words come to life, make you want to continue to do it. It's like art imitates life. Oh, man, they look good. I like it. They did good. I want to see some more of it, though.
For Iris White, the playwright, it was the first time he had seen a performance of it, and he was really happy. And so, you know, it was like the greatest day of his life.
But White's elation was not to last. The day ended in bitter disappointment.
And then an hour later, he got in a fight in the yard and got busted and got sent back to the chute. So it just shows how fast things can fall apart. Even when things are going good, prison can take it all away from you.
It's the old law, you know, for every action there's a reaction. So I can relate to Macbeth, you know, by the choices he made, you know, predicted his punishment. Some of us made mistakes. Our choices was mistakes, and now we're paying for it.
Next.
Very dangerous individual. His beliefs, which aren't.
In every prison we profiled on Lockup, there's a certain type of inmate doing hard time. They're the ones that have come in as teenagers, they've grown up in the prison system, they've spent their entire life there. So everything they've learned about being an adult comes from the lessons they've learned behind bars.
We met such an inmate at the Penitentiary of New Mexico.
When I first got there, I was 17 years old. They put me in a dormitory that was overcrowded. Man, I was just like scared to death. You know, I didn't know what to expect or what to do. I knew right away, okay, I'm gonna get jumped, or I'm gonna get beat up, maybe worse, maybe raped, maybe murdered.
Joe Sears might have been a scared kid when he first arrived, but he quickly grew to be one of the most feared inmates the prison has ever known.
Very dangerous individual, has the potential to be very dangerous anyways. Very strong, has his mind set on his beliefs, which aren't really the norm of any
known society that I know of, so he's a very difficult type of person.
I remember Joe Sears very vividly because so many of the correctional officers had dealt with him in the 20 years he had been locked up there. People kind of lowered their voices when they talked about Joe Sears.
As a result of fights, intimidation, and other rule violations, Sears has spent most of the past 15 years in New Mexico's highest security unit, Level 6.
There have been times, yes, that I got into a fight over certain things, you know, whether it was a couple guys jumping on me because they didn't like what I said or who I was hanging out with or where I was working, or maybe they wanted the job position or something, or who knows, you know, maybe they just disliked me for the color of my skin or my attitude, or I don't know, you know.
Sears was convicted on several charges, including robbery, kidnapping, and rape. He first entered the penitentiary in 1983 on a 36-year sentence.
I remember him working out in F2, which was our recreation area, lifting 100-pound dumbbells like they were nothing. He walked around like he owned that place. No problem getting in your face at any time for anything.
And before long, Sears gained a reputation to match his muscle.
Well, inmate Joe Sears was part of the Aryan Brotherhood, and he was one of the big boys in that faction. He's the type of guy that would have put the hurt on you if you looked at him wrong at that point.
I guess a lot of people looked at me as one of the, you know, well, if you go and mess with the white boys or if there's a problem with them, Joe's going to be one of them. He's going to be up front, and you're going to have to deal with him.
As a Level 6 inmate, Sears lives in solitary confinement and is allowed outdoors no more than an hour a day, which he spends in this exercise cage. Hard time has taken its toll.
He's lost a lot of weight. Mentally, he's not as sure of himself.
A big piece of my life is ruined, and it's just real sad. It's a waste of time.
Sears has no family or friends waiting for him, and our crew was his first contact with outside faces in years. He opened up on how his time has affected him.
It's kind of hard for me to explain, but you start feeling, you know, they talk about conscience. Before you didn't have a conscience, when you start developing a conscience, because you actually have time to sit in a cell all day and think about the things you've done. You know what I mean? It's like, man, why did I do that? What a dumb kid.
During our shoot at New Mexico, Sears had been approved for a transfer to Level 5, a lower security housing unit, where he would have considerably more freedom and the opportunity to be around other inmates. But with Sears, nothing is certain.
He's been in Level 5 a couple times, so I hope he makes it. Joe Sears, it's a big waiting game. Only Joe Sears knows if he can make it there or not.
I personally have never had any problems with him, but I am concerned having him in my pod, in my units. I'm concerned about being assaulted.
I've got little butterflies in me, but it's just, you know, I feel good about going over there. I'm glad to finally get this chance, this opportunity.
And our cameras were there as Sears made the move to Level 5.
The move went off, okay, and when we got to his cell, he kind of took it in, even though it looked like, you know, pretty much the same as his old cell. It seemed like he was in a new world. Looks about the same, doesn't it?
Later, our crew caught up with Sears on the prison yard.
That's my main concentration and priority, is to try and make something good of this, because it's not going to do me no good to sit here and just ignore this or to throw all this to crazy or not get anything out of it. And I'm not that 16-year-old kid anymore. I'm 41 years old now.
As he walked across the yard, first time in years with other inmates, we had no idea what to expect.
We missed it one time. It's just joint stuff. That's how we do things in the joint.
One time. One time only.
Only if you hit my Go ahead. Hey, I'm not good at this. I'm telling you right now, are you good? Not really. Not really? Hey, go for it, Looney. Hit a ringer. I'll try.
I think it astounded him to be out in the yard and working out with somebody else, being in contact with another inmate that you know he could talk to without being in shackles.
That's 1, 2. I'm ahead, 2-0.
He seemed like a kid, you know, at summer camp.
But an even more significant challenge is in Sear's future.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I worry about, am I gonna be able to talk with these people properly? Do I have enough knowledge or education to make it out there? Am I going to be able to get a job? Am I going to be able to stay away from dope and not repeat crimes and things like that? What I'm saying, when I get out to the streets, I have to pick up where that 16-year-old kid left off.
Next on Lockup Raw.
They call me Big D. I've been cutting hair in this barber shop since '93.
There's one place in prison where everybody knows your name.
My special haircut, before they took the razors away from us, was a straight razor.
When an inmate is serving hard time with little to no chance of ever living on the outside again, he takes advantage of every small opportunity he can to feel like he's free. And lockup crews have seen time and time again, there's one place in prison that offers a few moments of normalcy. The prison barbershop.
They call me Big D. I'm a cosmetologist outside and in here. I've been cutting hair in this barber shop since '93.
Daryl Big D Wright is serving hard time at California's aging San Quentin State Prison. We found him working his barber chair in a no-frill shop.
We have 3 barbers in here. We're pretty steady. You know, they come in and out. Well, one of us try to be here at all times, so we all have to know how to cut all kind of hair.
As with any barber, it's important to keep the customer satisfied. That's especially true when your clients are inmates.
You know, occasionally guys, you know, they drop by and they want to give you a little something if you get a good haircut, you know. They want to give you a soup or something like that, or a canned good or something like that. And it's not a mandatory thing, but they won't let you refuse them. You know what I'm saying? They won't let you refuse them.
Barbershops have been a favorite stop for lockup crews at prisons nationwide.
Any man that walks through the door can get a haircut, and he will get a good haircut. You know, he might not get a whole lot of layers and feathers and all that, but he'll get a good haircut.
We met Willard Lucas at Indiana State Prison. He'd been working the same chair for 26 years.
My special haircut is a taper haircut. And my other specialty, before they took the razors away from us, was a straight razor. I could use a straight razor pretty good, and which I enjoyed. But for some reason, they took them away from us, so we don't use them no more.
At 79 years old, Lucas's grandfatherly personality seems at odds with his past. He's serving 2 life sentences.
I caught a guy in bed with my old lady, and I blowed my top. And I kind of hurt him.
What were you charged with?
Kidnapped murder. I was going to take her to the hospital. I didn't think she was dead because she was moving. And I put her in the car, and that's where I got the kidnap picked up from. I got to be here till I die. I got double life, and I got to stay here till I die.
Though prison barbershops can possess an almost bucolic small-town charm, simmering hostilities are sometimes found right below the surface. Rodney Buford is an inmate barber at the Riverbend Maximum Security Institution in Tennessee. Once a week, he cuts hair on death row.
I was about to cut this guy that was an open white supremacist, Aryan Nation type person and all. He had a Nazi sign on his forehead, and I had heard that, like, he had killed like 3 people in prison already, in addition to what had happened out there on the street. So here it is now. I'm fixing to cut somebody's hair that maybe hates me just because of the way I look, as far as my skin is concerned.
Buford put professionalism ahead of his feelings and completed the cut. But at some other prisons, race is an issue that can't be brushed away. At California's Kern Valley State Prison, the grooming tools are racially coded. There are different sets for white inmates, blacks, Hispanics, and others. Those are Asians and Pacific Islanders.
The tool, before you take it out, you have to check with the officers to make sure all the pieces in there. And after your job done, when you turn it in, you have to check it again. Let the officer check again. They don't have to worry about, what's missing and what's not.
Inmate Mina Tor, a native of Cambodia, only services the others, like fellow Cambodian Bonset Soon.
I get my hair cut by an inmate that assigned to another slot, so he cut the other's hair. We are the minority of the prison. We're the smallest group in the prison.
Now, could a white barber cut your hair? Could a black barber?
No,
Tell me about that.
I mean, if you're really cool with the person, yeah, but I prefer to be cut by, my own people. To be safe is better. We stick to our own.
Safe and well-groomed.
He's good because he did that as his profession on the streets. So we got one real barber here in prison. So cut.